So you're thinking about moving your family to Kerrville, Texas. Well, here are 5 reasons you should pull the trigger on making that move. What's going on, everybody? My name is Ryan with the Rendon Realty Group right here in Kerrville and Fredericksburg, Texas. And if this is your first time to my channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, but also that little bell so you can get notified anytime I put out videos just like this one. So I've helped out a lot of families relocate to the Texas Hill Country from all over the United States. You know, I'm talking California, Nevada, Illinois, even multiple parts of Texas. And a quick fun fact for you from the website How Money Walks, the top 5 places people are moving to Kerr County from are actually within Texas, primarily along the coast in the Dallas metro area. In today's video, I want to give you an in-depth 5 reasons of why you should move your family here, and make sure you stick around for number 5. You won't want to miss it. Okay, so let's go ahead and kick this off with reason number 1, and that is the people. So if you're thinking about relocating to the Kerrville area from maybe out west, California, or any of the northern states, this will probably be one of the first things you notice that's just different. Everybody here just seems to be so awfully nice and full of that southern hospitality. So I was actually born and raised right here in the Texas Hill Country. So this is pretty much all I've known my entire life. But after graduating high school, I did spend 6 years out in California while I was active duty in the Air Force. And as I was getting out there from the move from Texas to California, I immediately noticed the difference in the people, primarily talking about that Los Angeles area, but where I was stationed at, Santa Barbara County, right on the central coast, you know, it's actually a really pretty area, very nice area. And the people were actually fairly nice as well. But if you traveled, you know, 2 to 3, 4 hours north of Santa Barbara County or south towards that Los Angeles area, it was just a night and day difference between the people. And also my wife, Andrea, has lived all over the United States and actually the world because her dad was a career Air Force guy. So they spent time all over the United States and all over the world. But she'll actually tell you herself, this is one of the reasons why she likes living in Texas so much, is because of the people. Now, obviously, you're going to run across those people they're the bad apples. You know, they're not very friendly. They're very angry people. That's going to be the case no matter where you're at. You know, in fact, while I was out in California, I made some really, really good friends that are going to be lifelong friends. But, you know, for the most part, the people here in Texas and especially the Texas Hill Country, they're this all around really good people with great hearts. And it truly seems like the best of these people comes out at some of the worst times. 2 years ago, we had a massive freeze and this thing lasted for about a week. It literally didn't go above 19 degrees for almost a week. We had pipes bursting all over the place. Power lines were down. It was absolutely crazy. But we had so many people that were just offering up their own homes, you know, to the public for people to come in to get warm because they had a fireplace. Even though they maybe didn't have power, they had a fireplace so they could burn some wood, keep everybody warm. We had people that were delivering wood all over the place, groceries, water. I mean, it was crazy. So it really does seem like during some of the worst times, these Texas people really show their true colors and how great they are and how great of a heart they really have. And I'd love to hear from you guys. What are some of the reasons you're thinking about moving to Texas, specifically the Texas Hill Country, you know, around Kerrville, Fredericksburg? But let me hear it in the comments down below. I'd love to see some of the reasons you're thinking about moving this way. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to number 2 on the list. But before we get to it, I must say my channel really needs your help. If you could like this video, but also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. This will help the YouTube algorithm push my videos out to more folks like you so they can see them. Okay, so reason number 2 is our donut shops. Now, this is a pretty funny one because anytime we see a new business pop up or being built in Kerrville, the joke around town is that it's probably going to be a new bank, a new donut shop, a new nail salon, a new fried chicken joint. So if you're in need of any of those, don't you fret, because we literally have plenty of them. So I've covered this in a couple other videos on the channel, but our population in Kerrville is just under 25,000 people. And I'm not even joking. We have 5 donut shops here in town. And of course, that doesn't even count for all the small bakeries that make donuts. You have 2 Starbucks that you can get a donut at. And also all the small coffee joints that have breakfast pastries. And then we have these delicious things called kolaches. And I've recently come to know that if you're not from Texas, you might not even know what these are, but they're sausages wrapped in kolache dough. And you can actually get them filled with cheese and jalapenos. And I tell you what, they are to die for. And if you have not had one yet, I think you're really missing out. And the next time you come to Texas, you should probably go ahead and order one. Okay, so reason number 3 is our real estate appreciation. So we've seen a massive 56% increase in the median sales price since 2019. And from January 2022 through December, we saw 339 homes sell with the median sales price of $357, which is a 13% increase year over year. In December, the median sales price in Texas was up 3% compared to 2021. So as you can see, Kerrville had a 10% higher increase in median sales price than the rest of the state of Texas, which again is great for you as a homeowner here in Kerrville, but also if you're thinking about moving this way. And you're probably asking yourself, how much is a $357,000 house in Kerrville going to cost me on a month-to-month basis? And what would that even get me? So let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick. Okay, so using nerdwallet.com, we have a sales price of $357,000 and a down payment of 5%, which comes out to $17,850. And then interest rates are sitting right around 6.25% right now. And your property taxes are going to be right around $460 a month. And your home insurance will be around $166. And finally, the PMI is going to be right around $140 a month. So after you add all those numbers together, you're looking at a monthly payment of $2,856 per month. One thing I want to make sure that you know is that the property taxes may fluctuate over time and go up along with the home insurance. So you need to make sure that you're really comfortable where your monthly payment is now, but also with the possibility that it could go up over time. It's always highly suggested that if you're approved for a max amount of, let's say $357,000, that you not necessarily go up to that max amount. Maybe you find a house for $300,000, because if you find yourself in a financial crisis or maybe a little period where you don't have a job, you want to make sure that you're still comfortable with making those payments and not get yourself into a bind. We actually like to call it being house broke. When you max out on your monthly mortgage payment, you don't really have anything left over to either go out and have fun or to even save. You just want to make sure you're not in that type of situation where you can't save extra money at the end of the month. Okay, so hopping over to my website, $350,000 can get you a nice 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom brick home with just over 2,000 square feet, built in 1986 with a large 0.4 acre lot, almost half an acre there. It has a gallery style kitchen, but looking at this wall where the sink is, you might be able to open that up and put a big center island with plenty of storage underneath and your sink towards the center of the kitchen. And it looks like it has a little breakfast nook area near the pantry. And then going into the dining and living room area, it seems to be pretty open and spacious and has a nice fireplace in the center of the room. And then going into the master bathroom, it seems to be pretty spacious as well, with 2 vanities on the left, and then you have the walk-in shower and jacuzzi off to the right. And it looks like it actually has a cedar closet, which you don't really see those very often. But as you can tell, you can get a pretty nice house here in Kerrville for right around that $350,000 range. Okay, let's get started with reason number 4. But before we get started with that, I want to hear in the comments from you of what you think number 5 is going to be. Make sure you stick around. Okay, so number 4 on the list is the Guadalupe River. Now this has to be one of my favorite things about Kerrville. The river actually stretches about 250 miles across Kerrville and it goes right through downtown Kerrville. And accompanying the Guadalupe River is the Lewis Hayes Park. And each year there are hundreds of events down by the river, such as concerts by the river, Shakespeare in the park, the annual 4th on the river, which is an absolute blast. And typically the iconic Texas musician Robert Earl Keen and a few cover bands play on that day. There's also movies down at the park, the Kerrville River Roadster Show, and the Kerrville Triathlon Festival, which brings thousands and thousands of people to town each and every year. You can also rent kayaks, paddleboards, and canoes to take out for the day, but you also have the river trail that runs along the river, and it's actually start to finish 6 miles long. So realistically, if you start at the beginning, go down and back, you could get a good 12-mile run in or a bike ride. And on top of all that glorious stuff we just talked about, you also have some really good fishing down there. You can catch anything between bass, carp, catfish, and of course little fish like perch. And after you're done doing all that really fun stuff, you may as well go ahead and take a dip in the river, especially during those summer months to cool off. Some of my absolute favorite memories in life were when I was a kid, my grandparents would actually take us down to the river, my sister and I, and we would spend hours and hours swimming during the summer. It was an absolute blast. Okay, so it's time for the big number 5, and that is the hunting. So one of my absolute favorite pastimes and what I grew up doing since I was about 5 years old was hunting the Central Texas area. My dad and I have spent hours upon hours spending really great quality time together while simultaneously contributing back to the wildlife through conservation and our local economic support. In fact, the TexasOutdoorDigest.com states the overall impact of hunting in Texas is clear. Hunting-related expenditures add up to more than $1.8 billion, with a healthy chunk of those funds going directly toward deer hunting trips, gear, food, and lodging, among other purchases. And towns like Kerrville, Mason, Junction, Sonora are just a few of the towns that welcome non-residents to the area and to the community with open arms. So Kerrville and Kerr County is home to dozens and dozens of very large ranches that have options for hunting all year round. You're probably asking, how in the world is that even possible? Because deer season is only 3 months long. Well, here in Texas, we have a very large population of non-native animals, which we commonly refer to as exotics, that come from all over the world. Animals such as axis deer, blackbuck antelope, fallow deer, the massive nilgai, and honestly the list goes on and on and on, but you can darn near harvest just about any type of animal here in Texas that you could even get over in Africa. But the primary focus for animal conservation around Kerrville is for the native animals like your whitetail, turkey, and dove. So whether you are wanting to contribute to our local wildlife conservation, maybe just put meat on the table, or get yourself a trophy African animal, we pretty much have everything that you'd want and need within a 30-minute drive right here in Kerrville, Texas. Okay guys, I want to hear from you. Make sure you comment down below of which one of those 5 reasons are you most excited about moving to Kerrville, Texas, or even if you already live here. And if you haven't watched my video about the pros and cons of living in Fredericksburg, make sure you watch that one next. Hey guys, I really appreciate your time today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.